Hello everybody. So today is Chronic Disease Awareness Day. By the time I get done editing this and posting it, it will probably be like the day after. These hands only go so quickly, and I can only use my phone. I just wanted to talk about something that's been on my heart and my mind, especially as of late. And I have had so many people reaching out to me recently who are newly floxed, questioning life and why things happen to them. I think we've all done that. In my videos, I've spent a lot of time talking about actual illnesses, fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome, FQAD, mast cell activation syndrome, but I don't actually spend a lot of time talking about the mental aspect of living with a chronic illness. I post some videos that are jokes, but you get the point when it comes around our struggles. But I just felt it necessary to actually say words about it. The same goes for fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome. I have really bad. You can obviously see the physical effects of my chronic illness. There's no doubt about it. But the mental impacts are not something that I talk about all the time and aren't talked about with fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome, for example. There is a black box warning specifically just for mental health issues. That doesn't get talked as much about as the physical issues, because the physical issues are so permanent and disabling and debilitating. But that doesn't mean that the mental effects from this illness aren't just as debilitating or even more in some cases. And that goes for all chronic illnesses, not just the ones that I have. Living life with a chronic illness, quote that a doctor gave to me, a very special doctor that had a hand in saving my life. You know who he is. If you watch my other videos, the quote that he said to me is, living a life with chronic illness isn't really living at all. You're just putting one foot in front of the other, trying to get by day by day. And I think that sums it up perfectly. I don't think any of us ever envisioned being sick. I know I didn't. You know, my husband is disabled, and I used to be his primary caregiver until I got sick. He made comments before that if I got sick, we would be screwed. My response was, why would I get sick? Like, look at me. I work out 7 days a week. I eat healthy. Like, I'm in such good shape. Why would I ever get sick? Nobody ever thinks it will happen to them. I wasn't someone who grew up sick or had any illnesses before. This was a complete knockout to me. And it's a very lonely and isolating life. And I was just talking to a group, and they raised a question, and I thought, interesting to think about it that way. For all of you folks that are like me, if someone had asked you, name the top 3 people you would call immediately if you got sick, you knew they would be there for you no matter what. 10 years into an illness, think about who those 3 people are that you would have named. Are they still there now? Probably not. Maybe some, but probably not all 3 that you thought. I know for me that's not the case. The struggle here is that we're sick. We don't want to be sick. People don't understand our illness. People have a hard time wrapping their head around the new versions of us when we get sick. I feel like it's okay to be sick for a little bit, but as time goes on, like, nobody wants to hear it anymore. You're the sick person, you always have the problems, and that's really hard for us to deal with, because every day we're just trying to survive, but we're also trying to find a reason to hold on. And when you're lonely, it is very hard to hold on. I want to acknowledge the mental aspects of chronic illness. It's not just the physical. And I would hope that everybody watching this video does the same as well. Chronic illness is always physical and emotional. You cannot separate the two. And in fact, I feel like people that may recover from chronic illnesses, the emotional effects and the trauma that they have encountered will never go away. I don't know how anybody can ever get past that. I think we are here struggling every day to survive, and then we are filled with this trapped grief and trauma and loss of our previous life. And then we each need to decide what we're going to do with those trapped emotions. I'm turning them into a life of service and putting that all on a platform of love for all of you, because that's the only way I know how to release it. If I can help other people not end up on this end, I feel like it's winning. Even though it's not me that's being positively impacted by my advice, still feel like it's a win. And all of you out there that watch these videos that are going through something similar, I wouldn't wish it on anybody, not even my worst enemy. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has followed me and supported me. I haven't been on social media long. It's only been since about September, when I really got into it with my letter to the FDA. I feel like there are so many of you out there that I've become close with, and yet we don't actually know each other. But we do know each other. It's a strange world with social media and technology. I feel like some of these folks, I'm looking at you right now as you're watching this, have shown up for me more than anybody else in my life. And I bet you feel the same way about other people that are suffering from a chronic illness on social media too. And I think that's because, as they say, it takes one to know one. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that you folks are the ones that can truly understand what it's like. You're going through the same thing as me. We're going through the same thing as each other. We can turn this negative situation we're in into a positive. And I said it in one of my videos before. It's very important to find purpose. I know in our situation it's hard to do, but it really will make all the difference. And I feel like I found my purpose with my advocacy and in trying to help others, because in my mind, this suffering has to be for something. Something good has to come of it, even if it isn't for me. So that's it for me for Chronic Disease Awareness Day. What life has in store for us, none of us know. The only thing I can say is be kind. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, because you never know where you will end up. That's all I got. I'm going to get emotional. Thanks, everybody.